What's going on, guys? Hope everyone had a wonderful week. Appreciate all of those of you who have hung out through my lovely week-long breaks. Good news is we should be back to like the normal during the week streams sometime around the end of August, I think. But for now, Friday and weekend streams it is. So I found some interesting pictures. So while looking for teeth reference photographs, I went to the Instagram page of the guy who actually did the makeup effects for Terrifier, who designed the face, and found a really great reference picture of his art, the character, and it's literally the sculpt on a life cast. So I'm super excited. Anthony, thank you so much. So seeing clay on it, I was able to recognize some things that I hadn't exactly gotten right. So over the last week, I've been kind of messing around with trying to get it closer. But I will say, all things considered, I'm actually really happy with how close I got it, considering the pictures I had. There was only some stuff I had to change, but the vast majority of it was pretty spot on. Some detail stuff. So I started working on that. So that's what we're going to keep on trucking along today. So like I said, I hope everyone had a great weekend and week. We're just going to chill out and sculpt some Terrifier faces. So yeah, chillaxing, as it were. I also have I've been working on all the Krampus videos for the Etsy page coming up soon. So you guys are gonna dig those. Those are super dope. Super dope. Gandalf, thank you so much for the follow, or for yeah. Also, awesome name. That reminds me about something. I have to get some flour. There's apparently like some TikTok trend going on right now with people putting their hand in a giant pile of flour and then marking their black dogs with a handprint of Sauron or whatever. I have to do that. We have a black pug. It'll be hilarious. It will be hilariouses? Yeah. Yo, Spacey Casey Kitten, thank you so much for the follow. Hope hope your guys' week went well. Tis Friday. Tis the day to celebrate. Yeah. Bum, bum, bum. Your mother-in-law? How'd you know? No, it's I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Terrifier. Art the Clown. Buddy of mine's super into it, so we live casted him, and now we're sculpting Art the Clown. That's what we be doing, yo. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not even the biggest fan. The movie's okay. Super gory. If you're into some slasher horror, then you might, appreciate it. It's okay. Has its moments. I think the character's kind of cool, but hardcore, Freddy and Jason, 80s slashers, okay. Showing my age, but still. Going to have a look. This made me think of Jacob Marley. Is very real looking. Jacob Marley. Okay. Yeah. I mean, the whole big nose and protruding chin thing is a pretty common trope in, creepy character design. So it could really be a variety. Well, rubber and silicone stick to each other if they dry. Depending on the rubber and the silicone, I suppose. Yeah. Oh, also, guys, we sent out the pretty much the last or the second to last chest burster. So we only got one more left, and then I picked the winner for the free chest burster today. And so we're going to start working on that custom chest burster as well. I'm actually super excited. I learned some alien, xenomorph lore today that I didn't know. So that was a lot of fun. Apparently there was a mutant chest burster out of like a pink egg. Or like the face hugger came out of like a pink egg in the comic books. I had no idea. I never read the comics. Maybe I should have. But it was, you guys, if you're interested and you like the, God, I should find out his name. If you liked the movie Terrifier, you guys should go follow the effects artist who did the makeup on Instagram. He's got a really cool Instagram. Some effects artists don't really post, the behind the scenes stuff, and he does. So that's really cool. I've also found out I filled out a lovely TikTok survey, at which point I shared my disdain for the fact that they don't allow, they don't have an art section on TikTok Studio. They won't read it. No, they won't. But a streamer can hope, I'm debating whether or not I want to wade through the crowds to go see the new Oppenheimer film this weekend. Very, very, very tempted. While I'm there, go ahead and check out the Barbie film too. No, I'm just joking. No, not interested in that. Have to watch it now. Yeah, no, I don't think so. You know what's funny? I feel like I probably will end up seeing it at some point, but I really, I could care less. I will say this, the idea for the Barbie movie is what I wish they would have done for like a GI Joe movie. I mean, we had small soldiers, but when they decided to take GI Joe into like with the movies they made into like the more of a storytelling thing, I was pretty unimpressed. But Oppenheimer looks super dope, so thanks for the likes, guys. I really appreciate it. And it helps a ton. It helps get the message out about creepy art. Bum, 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 bum. It's funny, his nose is like one of the most iconic things about this character, and it's such a weird frickin' nose. Can't remember what country or the name of the movie. Oh my god, no, but I would it sounds like a movie I would very much watch. So here's the thing. I know a lot of people are afraid of clowns. To be honest with you, I've never understood the whole clown fear thing. I am not afraid of clowns. I think I think, I think they're weird, but tons of people pick weird ass professions. You know, I think the weirder part is that there's a clown school. Actually, here's what is the strangest part about clowns that I don't really understand. Clowns make sense to me for the specific time period. Like, for example, you know, like before TV, before you know, the internet, before movies and stuff, like mimes and clowns and court gestures and things like that. They made a ton of sense. Now, doesn't make a lot of sense to me. As weird as Joe Biden. Well, I don't know. I find most clowns pretty freaking weird. Politicians for me are pretty much a dime a dozen. So, hey, you know what? Maybe clowns are too, and I just don't realize. Or what they're one and the same. Boom, boom, boom. Guys, thanks again for those hearts. Already at 1.4. Who knows? You know, maybe we'll make it to like 10,000 likes. I believe in you guys. Break those fingers. Can they? I don't know. I don't know that I've heard a clown talk. Wait a minute, that's mine. Never mind, I'm sorry. Wait, have I heard a clown? I feel like, well, I guess, you know, are clowns? I don't feel like clowns talk. Don't they just like honk their little horn at you, and that's about the gist of it? There you go. That's like every fucking politician right there. Squirt you with a water bottle or a seltzer bottle or whatever the fuck them little shits are called. What's up, Reese? What's going on? Drawing a severed hand. Very nice. I have a severed hand over here. that we're working on, that we've been working on forever, just like every project I do, you know. The ADD strikes me hard with projects. Like this guy. This little Evil Dead inspired, like, severed hand thing. It's coming along, slowly but surely, you know. What is the inspo for your severed hand? Anything particular or not really? Man, look at them hearts jumping. We're at 2,000 likes. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Oh, sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but that's a great answer. It's just so apt, so perfect. Bam, 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 bam. Oh, wait. I messed that up. Bam, bam. That is you. Well, you know what? I hope your severed hand brings you some peace. I found it. I think the movie is just called Clown from 2014. Yeah, I haven't seen that. Psycho. Thank you so much. It is nice, right? It's coming along slowly but surely. Nice. I'll have to check it. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I've never heard of that. 2014, huh? Okay. It was a really disturbing clown movie. I want to say like Kevin Smith directed it or was like produced it or something. And it's like this never heard of kind of it's called Vulgar. It is probably one of the most disturbing but also awesome clown movies because it's kind of about a clown, but it's just very disturbing. If you guys haven't checked it out, it's like I feel like if it is Kevin Smith, and I don't remember exactly if it is, Walker. Watch the movie. You might feel differently. But it's a trip. I think it was definitely. I feel like it was definitely before Kevin Smith got definitely before Kevin Smith got super huge. Like early 2000s or late 90s. Really? Okay. Huh. I'll have to check it out. I wonder if it's streaming somewhere. For his son's birthday. Okay. Somewhere. Something is always streaming somewhere, you know? Damn. Everyone, man. No, ain't you guys ever seen Terrifier? Come on. I mean, not that I would be opposed to sculpt such a thing, but come on. Haven't you ever seen Terrifier? Well, I know, yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Moon Dragon, thank you for the follow. What is the medium? It's called Sculptex. It's an oil-based clay from Smooth On. I don't always suggest it for most projects. I don't even really like using it. I just didn't want to use Chavant because I was hoping the sculpture was going to be like way faster than it turned out being. So yeah, needless to say, normally I would just suggest like Chavant. I know a lot of people say Monster Clay is pretty awesome, so if you want to try something else, yeah, hit Monster Clay up. But I myself am not a Monster Clay fan. Need something to rest this on now. And then we have, I don't know if you guys saw the stream or whatever, but we have the teeth to go with it, you know, with the scary monster teeth. At least the top row. We still have to make the bottom row all done out of wax, the cheap way. Thank you. It's coming along. I thought I was done with it, but I found really much better reference pictures online. So ended up having to kind of change some things once I realized how wrong I was in the sculpture. I know, right? It is. It can be tricky to get someone to do that. One of these days, I'm gonna do a challenge. I think I would have done it sooner. I think, except for the fact that no one really appreciates it. So I'm pretty sure that I could literally life cast myself. Put the shit in front of me, prep it right, prep it correctly, and I'm good. Almost looks like the Bog King. Who's the Bog? What's that a reference to? Thanks for all the likes, guys. Who knows? Maybe we'll get to like 10,000 likes this stream. That'd be awesome. It's really, because, you think about it, it's not that hard to really life cast, right? It's only The concept really simple. If you've done enough times, I feel like I could do it with my eyes closed, you know? Yeah, exactly. You make the plans, you lay everything out. Yeah. I thought it'd be kind of a cool video to do it though. Just like it's like a little TikTok. Don't even do it live. Just do the video. Because I've literally had other effects artists say that they couldn't do it. And I'm like, hey, I want to try this. I want to see, you know, worst case scenario, I waste some alginate, you know? Yeah, I feel like that's the easy part. I think the hard part is getting the plaster on. So like with the alginate, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it on your skin. So you're going to know where it is. But once you're at the point of adding the plaster bandage, you can only feel with your hands. You no longer have like the flesh of your head telling you where something is or where something isn't, you know? You only got your mitts. Viva Las Vegas, baby. Sin City. Yeah, I actually have only been out here a little bit. Was in San Diego for like 11 years before we moved out here. If you like the work, tap while you watch so he can get... Yeah, Tony knows what's up. Tap away. Break that finger. It does help. I've watched it help before on like past streams. It's super awesome, yeah. I actually was watching someone's stream the other night, and what they were working on was cool, but I somehow got sidetracked by how fast I could tap my finger, and I realized like I had spent 10 minutes just tapping. And yeah, my finger was a bit sore after that, not gonna lie. Southern Oregon, right? Flights over there are inexpensive. Yeah, Vegas, that is one of the best parts about living in Vegas, is that flights in and out of Vegas are pretty cheap because it's all designed around, what's the word I'm looking for? Tourism. Yo, what's going on? I was just talking about you earlier as the winner of the chestburster. Commerce. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Oddly enough, like I even thought San Diego would have benefited from that, but after living there for 10 years, I even realized that like no, you'd be better off flight-wise living in like LA because LAX is such a huge major hub. San Diego is kind of like a little dink of a hub. It's a commerce hub. Oh, okay, gotcha. While you draw. What kind of, by the way, are you doing a lot of that? Like the little alien, like sticker drawing you did. Is that like done in Procreate, Photoshop, Illustrator? Like, what do you use? I know Procreate's getting really huge, and actually has been getting really big for a while. So, yeah, okay. Yeah, I've never messed around with it. My wife does a ton of stuff in Procreate. I'm always like I'm a Photoshop. Actually, I wouldn't even say Illustrator. Most things that people can do in Illustrator, I'm so comfortable in Photoshop, I can probably just do it there. Yo, JM, thanks for the follow. I wish Procreate was available for frickin' just a computer. I'm pretty sure it's not even available for a computer. Don't you have to use Procreate only on a tablet, right? Of like, and at that, I'm apparently only on a iPad. No, yeah, it's the thing you heard about first. Yeah. Yeah, I've been messing around in Photoshop for, again, dare I say, like over 20 years. Let's see here. Yeah, it's got to be over 20 years. It's gots to be. It's gots to be. Procreate and Apple Pencil too. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what the Whiff has. She's done a lot of really cool stuff on there, and I'm not gonna lie, like there's a lot of tools that I've watched. I've gone down the Procreate video rabbit hole, and some of the stuff that Procreate can do that's just like built into its features. I don't know. Me personally, I'm kind of like, hey, Adobe, why can Procreate do this shit, and you make it so freaking difficult to do this shit? Apple's so expensive. Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's only been since I started streaming that I've actually gained a little bit of knowledge. Not even a little bit, pretty, I would say, extensive knowledge now of PCs. But I was a hardcore, from a very, very young age, Apple only. You know, you grow up in an Apple family or a PC family, and you just generally kind of lean that way. Not always, but when I started streaming, there's a lot more stuff available for like PC related. So that's what I ended up doing. Great all around tools. Yeah, I would generally agree. I think, like, for example, I think all of Adobe's programs are pretty powerful, but the UI is designed very much for, well, one, for people that have been using Adobe programs for a long time. So it's like, I feel like there's like some level where they don't want to forget their roots, so they keep sticking to this very similar like user interface. But then I'm kind of like, at the same time, I'm like, listen, you know, there's all these other apps that are not on computers that can do more powerful things and do them way easier. Like, you can do anything in Adobe you can do in almost any other program, but the steps it takes to do it and the tedium, especially once you start, like, once I went down the Procreate rabbit hole and I was like, wait a minute, in like one step you can do this one thing. Over here in Adobe, I'm like taking 17 steps to do this one thing. It's lame. The iPhone, but the photo editor on the iPhone is rad. Are you talking about? I haven't messed around with. I have Premiere Rush on my phone, which I don't really like. I'm a big dude, 6'5", big old fingers. I don't like editing video on my phone, so I'm not really a big fan of that. I've never tried like Adobe's. If they had, I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. If they have a photo editor for your phone, I've never really tried that. Years ago, I got what's called, I think it's called Snapseed or Snapspeed, something like PS Express for photos. Oh, okay, gotcha. And that's what I've been using for like photo editing on my phone if I need to do that. Yeah, Snapseed. Okay, yeah, you know what's up. And then I use Afterlight after the PS Express. Is that also an Adobe, like an Adobe mobile Afterlight? I don't know what that is. When it comes to any like serious photography, I'm still pretty much exclusively shooting with not my phone. Phones have gotten pretty good, don't get me wrong. The biggest things that I don't like about phones is the lens aspect of it. A lot of options. Can phones shoot in RAW yet? I don't think they can. Can they even shoot like Sony RAW or just, what is that? I forget what Sony's RAW is called. It's like ARW or something like that. High-end photo editing tool. Okay, gotcha. Shooting 4K, 60 FPS. Gotcha, nice. into shooting some 4K 60 FPS stuff. I can shoot in 4K and I can shoot in 60 FPS, but the current camera setup I have doesn't allow me to do it yet. But I almost have all my really fancy cameras all paid off, so I'll probably end up picking up, is it the FX30 I think I want to get? And that does 60 at 4K. Again, lens options. I'm a sucker for them lens options, you know? Okay. Yeah, the iPhones for sure have them. Yeah. But again, I need them lenses. I need that lens control. Actually, I have shot some stuff on my phone for like TikToks and whatnot. Actually, I'm streaming from my phone right now because stupid TikTok live studio doesn't have an art channel. Losers. I can screenshot the Hollywood settings. A pro set for me. Nice. Yeah, I have an iPhone. I have the iPhone 14, whatever the newest one is. I literally just got a new phone the other day. Like 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah. 5J Jaguar. Thank you so much for the follow. Okay, cool. Yeah, I can't take that right now, but I'll go back through the stream afterwards for sure. Dragon became. Thank you so much. Number 1. Number 6 member on the team. You know, what? Why number 6? Should be number 1. You sent a heart me. Thank you. Guys, you guys did awesome too. We're at 5.9 thousand likes. That's pretty freaking dope, if I don't say myself. Moon Dragon, what do you do? What kind of art do you do? What kind of shooting do you do? Sculpt up underneath here, guys, so hang tight with me while I try and do some adjustments. Oh shit. Like my little laughing deer. Interestingly enough, that emote was, so Turtle Forge did all my emotes, and that emote is inspired by, again, Evil Dead. That, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Evil Dead, but in Evil Dead 2, one of the, like, mounted deer heads, when he's, like, tripping out, he's losing his mind, just starts laughing uncontrollably, and I was like, I want an emote that illustrates that, you know? Fire breather. Oh, nice. Done a handful of that stuff back in the day. Never professionally. Had a couple of friends that did it professionally, and you got some professionals around. You're like, hey, this is how you do it, and I've had some fun times doing that. But that's really cool. Evil Dead, yeah, is dope. Reese, thanks so much for hanging out. Good night to you. Good luck on your hand drawing. blacksmith. Nice. I hate working with metal. Kudos to you. It's so very unforgiving. I've worked with enough metal to get by. Yeah, I can weld some really basic stuff. I'm by no means like welding anything amazing. My pops makes knives, so I understand a lot of the concepts around forging and whatnot, but something about intense heats and, swinging a hammer, then clay sculpture and carvings. Nice. It's something I do find interesting is a lot of people that generally get that, like, the creative bug. They'll dip their toes into whatever they can, Never done leatherworking. I did, well, I've done, at one time I messed around tooling leather. That was about it. Mold making, for sure. That is that's my bread and butter right there. Pretty sure I got to be close to, I tried figuring it out a while ago, looking through photos and then trying to count. I got to be close to, I think, like 500 molds that I've made. It's crazy. Building waterfalls. Like model waterfalls, or like going to a river and, acting like a beaver and like redirecting water flow to make a waterfall. What are we talking about here? Or like landscaping waterfalls, maybe. From 3 bathtubs with a pump. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I've never messed around with anything like that. I can see there'd be some enjoyment from that. Habitats for dragonflies. That's pretty fucking dope. Do you like me some dragonflies? Why did I have to pick like the bounciest thing to support this up? Just like, oh, nice. Okay. It's so weird how like unnaturally pointy all the features are on this character. It makes me wildly uncomfortable. Spray there without issues. Oh, okay. Nice. Sounds fun. Relaxing, or, chillaxing. Dude, I can't wait till the stream where we actually apply the makeup. Because that's what this is all about. Come on. Get crews together, make cool art. That's dope. Yeah, most of the stuff I make is almost exclusively more like just studio art. Collaborative art is always a lot of fun if you can make it work. Comes with drama occasionally, you know, artists, you know, kind of prone to that. But that aside, generally exciting. Oh my god. Oh, wait a minute. I have a wax block I can use. That's what it is. Fucking silicone nonsense. Tired of it bouncing around on me. Smooth On were awesome teachers. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're a little pricey, but yeah, Smooth On definitely has like. They even offer like classes and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure. You get a ton of their products. You probably, no joke, spend somewhere close to. I would imagine, dude, it's got to be close to like 60,000. No, closer to probably like $100,000 a month on products from Smooth On. Yeah. Lots and lots of. Well, you probably, if you bought anything from Smooth On, you know how expensive that shit is. Say $100,000, but really, when you think about it, when it comes to silicone, like platinum silicones, stupid expensive. Yeah, the West Coast rep is pretty cool. Good guy. But that's Reynolds, technically, not Smooth On, you know. Their distributor or whatever. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Sculpting these weird things, I'm always like, want to know how I got these scars? Like, it's just like what is even going on here? Weird, saggy jowls. Okay, they're jowls, right? That's what that's called. 5.9 thousand likes, guys. You rock. Thank you. Doing some left-handed sculpting now. Wish us luck. So much less efficient. It's crazy. Like I said, if you guys check out like the movie, you cannot even tell that there's that much going on in this character's face because it's covered in white, like white makeup. You know, you can barely see like what the crap is going on. Oh, word! I'll check it out. When I am off death stream. I appreciate it, particularly because I have a crap memory. So thank you. I do generally though end up kind of going back through my streams. I like fast forward through them and stuff like that afterwards, just to like make sure everything was copacetic, and admire my amazing voice. Did I say that or did I think that? ADHD and autism, I like making things easy. Hey, you know what? I appreciate it. I got the ADHD too, so I understand that part of it for sure. Bow, bow, bow. It's a buddy of mine who's visiting me for the summer. They're a big Terrifier fan. I actually have to post the video. I haven't posted it yet. Oh no, I did post it. Actually, it's like one of the last, if not the last video I posted on my TikTok. I posted the live casting. I still have to show how I cleaned it up and all that fun jazz, but the actual live casting is posted. Really need to get up inside that nose, yo. No. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky to get up there right now. That dab to probably many, I would assume. Yes. More than I care to think about, probably. Dude, 6.1 thousand likes. Thanks, guys. I don't know what it's saying for you guys, but it says 6.1 to me, so. Who's going to get you to 10K? I know, right? We're at 6.2 right now. Why is my ex-wife here? Thank you. Greatly appreciate it. This is coming. It's coming along. It's coming along, guys. Okay. We already finished the top row of teeth for the makeup. So, bam. That's all just. I think it was last stream. We showed off how to make teeth out of nothing but wax. So this is just wax, and then you can literally you can wear them. So for the photo, this is all for fun, right? So for the photo, we'll just I have to make the bottom teeth yet, but it'll be really fun. This whole like weird, it's so crazy. This weird lumpy, I don't know what you want to call it, like saggy jowls and everything are they're kind of tricky. Ye old saggy jowls. That would be very, 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 very pricey. So I don't do a lot of custom work because of how expensive I have to charge. But I mean, like, this. I mean, honestly, life casting really isn't that hard. It's everything you have to do after the life cast. That part would be almost quote unquote for free or very, very cheap. But to like make a silicone mask, like a full head mask, clay, plaster, or wax, this is clay. Silicone for fireproof. I mean, it would be, silicone is kind of inherently fire resistant. It doesn't really melt, right? It can still burn. Anything can burn, right? So like, but those buddies I was talking about, I've made them masks. Well, I shouldn't say that. I had a mask that I already had designed. It was a silicone mask that they wanted to use, and it worked. The pricey part is the life casting, or not the life casting, the turning the life cast. So this is just plaster, right? And when you sculpt something that's silicone, silicone's just stupid expensive. B, when you sculpt something that's going to be cast out of silicone, you usually want to sculpt on a full head, usually up to a chest cast of someone, and it's usually made out of fiberglass, which is super time consuming. So you go from, say, a plaster or clay pour of the life cast, then you have to clean that up, and then you have to mold that just to make the thing to sculpt on. You have to tap fiberglass, you got to do a bunch of bullshit. I mean, we're talking thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Yeah. Oh yeah, latex for sure. Yeah, you don't want to mess around with latex when it comes to that kind of thing. But silicone is pretty, I would say again, like pretty fire resistant, just inherently. Not all silicones, but the silicones I've used for sure, like you can, one could definitely like breathe fire, spin poi, any of that stuff. And oddly enough, it's just because I literally know someone who's done it. So. Yeah, exactly. Not even to mention the time, right? And that part, I mean, if it's a cool enough design, or if I have talked about this before. If I have full creative control, like I straight up discount the crap out of projects. So it's very rare that I do take on custom projects outside of my quote unquote day to day. But when I do, if I don't have to like meet requirements, I am very I will discount significantly if I don't if like there's no expectation I get to do whatever the hell I want. It's when I have to do something that someone else wants that I'm like, okay, if we're gonna have like approval pictures and things like that, like you're gonna pay for that time, because any artist, I'm sure you would even agree, like if you get to do whatever the fuck you want, that should come at a discount, you know? That should, because you get to do whatever the fuck you want. You don't have that whole, like, someone looking over your shoulder on what you're working on, you know? Being a billboard breathing fire, that'd be pretty cool. Don't be afraid to break it all down. No, I mean, well, I mean, I would break it down, except I literally need to sit down and figure out all the costs. The hours? I mean, frankly, a fully custom silicone fitting to a custom person mask, it's gonna be like $20,000 plus. It's gotta be. Like, it's different. Like, if you look at there's a lot of which these would work too. If you checked out, what is it, CFX masks, Immortal masks, their silicone masks, which are sculpted on generic busts, right? And that are not custom. Well, I mean, I guess there's a level of custom. You can pay for it, but they're generic busts. They do not fit everybody. And those fuckers go for anywhere from $600 to $1,000, depending on which one you get, right? Now add in everything else. Yeah, that shit adds up real fast. And having said that, there are some really talented artists out there that would do it way cheaper than I would. I'm not going to lie. Way cheaper. Yeah, and well, my thing is you got to figure in failure. Like, you have to figure in some level of like, oh, this pour didn't turn out, or, you know, silicone is pretty finicky stuff. Is there a chance you could get it right in one shot? Absolutely. The years that I've spent silicone, the years I have spent doing silicone work, I feel like I could nail it pretty quickly. But there's always some chance down the road, like, oh, the mold of the life cast went bad. And I'm not even just talking the cost being like, say, like the work and the materials, but if you're doing a life cast, at some point, for anything I would tackle, I would require that I was the one who did the life cast. So then you're paying for me to travel or for you to travel to come out and do all that shit. Like, it's tricksy shit. Yeah, but 20,000 might be a little high, but like I'm just figuring in like all potential costs, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, 20,000 might be a little high. It would all depend on what the mask had to do. If it just had to be dragony, you know, and fit you, that's one thing. But it's like, how long do you want it to last? You know, that plays into it, because you can actually buy cheaper silicones, but they don't last as long, that kind of thing. Yeah, is it going to be reinforced with power mesh, or you know, what kind of softness are we going for? Is it a skin? Is it multiple, you know, densities of silicone, like dual density, triple density? How realistic is the paint job got to be, you know? And were we matching skin? You know, the whole 9 yards. Maximize wearability. Like longevity or just comfort? When you say wearability, like, you know, comfort when it comes to a silicone mask is pretty hard to achieve. I'm sorry. Well, maybe, oh, you know what? I've never worn a silicone mask that was sculpted to my face. I've worn a ton of silicone masks sculpted to different people's heads. But the fact that it's just like mask touching every part of your face, it fucking sucks. Like, I would definitely say if you've never worn a silicone mask, go buy one. You can find some used ones, probably from, again, like CFX or Immortal Masks. You probably go on eBay and find used ones. Wear some of them shits and see if you can like do your performances. And if you can in those and you're comfortable doing it, then rock on. I think they're honestly very, very uncomfortable to wear for extended periods of time. And if you're going to spend the money to have something custom made, you know, obviously you're going to make sure that make sure that it's comfortable to wear. I don't know how long one performs. You know, my buddies would do really quick performances. They would do really long performances, kind of all over the place. When it came to any of their pyro experiences. Jesus. I know the haunts still utilize those silicone masks quite a bit. Haunts are probably the main reason companies like CFX and Mortal Masks and all those guys exist. It's because haunts love the idea of not having to apply makeup, just have someone, you know, throw the mask on and get into their room for their scare. But I've had a couple of friends who've worked at haunts, and even they say like, "Oh yeah, wearing a mask. Oh my god, silicone masks, dude. Anything silicone, any silicone wearables, they make you sweat like a mofo. So you're just like, basically, I don't want to say drowning, but you are just stewing in your own sweat, whether it's a mask, a chest piece, or whatever. This is nasty." I know a lot of performers though, like they kind of have a tolerance for that. I knew a lot of stilt performers and things like that. And those mofos are hardcore, yo. Hardcore. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, 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 bow. Dude, 6.5 thousand likes. Thanks, guys. Y'all are pretty swell. Pretty swell. I would imagine that if you have something in the scan, this is what we do when we do 3D scanning stuff, is there's always some kind of reference point, right? So if you could like, man, it'd be risky. I've never tried to do like a life cast scan and then 3D print. We've done a lot of stuff close to that, but I would say this: you want to have something in the photo that is universally like recognizable. As silly as it sounds, like a quarter or a dime or something like that, right? Because then you can know, like, oh, a dime is exactly this size, you know. That's stuff I've done before for 3D scans and 3D printing. Yeah. Hugh Designs. Thank you for the follow. What do you design, Hugh? Miniatures. Nice. Spent the last year working on a miniature, and then I got sidetracked with another project. What size miniatures are we talking here? Like really small? Like what scale? One to damn. Okay, so teeny or fairly small, I guess. I feel like 1/12 of a person is pretty small, right? Yeah, if we have time after stream, I'll show you guys the Krampus sculpture, or not Krampus, Armsy. I'm getting all my projects mixed up. To scale RC buggy body yesterday from Costco raspberry lemonade bottle. Nice. Resourceful. It's like cut it all up and perfectly looks rad. Even made the wing. Cool. Yeah, kit bashing when you take like stuff and make other cool shit out of it is cathartic, I think. Materials, not stuff. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. I know people. The crazy shit that people can make out of other crazy shit's always been really fascinating to me. I've always been like a, give me some clay and mold making materials, and I'll make what you want. But the whole kit bashing thing is pretty fascinating to me. George, thank you for the follow. Body's 100 times stronger than factories. Excuse me. And then factory. Nice. designs. Loving the sculpt. Yeah, it's I'm pretty happy with it. Like I said, once I found a photo on the makeup artist's effects page of the actual sculpt on the life cast, I was like, bam, that's what I needed. And I had spent so long looking up reference pictures online, and I was just like, man, this is silly. And then I went to the dude's Instagram and just had literally clay on life cast sculpt, and I was like, that's kind of what I needed. This particular character is a little tricky just because as a clown, their face is completely painted in white. So if you go for any of the pictures online, it's really hard to see any of the detail because it's all blown out from just the white makeup, you know? So yeah, the other day when I was looking up pictures for teeth reference, I decided I was like, man, I just need to go and see if the dude has an Instagram. Sure enough, bam. Yeah. And it's kind of in the picture. It's kind of, you know, in the pictures. But even this one, which is like the best picture I found, it's kind of vague, right? But then I found this other picture. I'm like, oh, damn, you can see it way more. And then putting the nice harsh lighting on it where you can really see where the shadows are cast, you know? Well, I honestly, what's funny is I think that you always, it's kind of hard to explain, but you always lose some depth during the mold making process. So I feel like when this is all said and done, and they did it out of foam latex, I'm probably, I don't know. I'm either going to use straight latex or I'm going to use or straight latex, gelatin, or silicone. I don't know if I'll just flip a coin, pull one of them out of the hat, and see what's up, you know? But if it's silicone, you want deeper texture for sure because silicone just absorbs a lot of light. So you almost can lose texture if something is silicone. You almost want to over sculpt. And I think that's true with a lot of things, honestly. I feel like just during the mold making process, if you can make some really defined details, you're better. You're better off. Plus, you know, different face. The actor that plays Art the Clown is a very like the actor who plays Art the Clown is the actor you want to be in a monster suit. Thin features, very dominant jawline, you know, things like that. And so if you can get away with something like that for makeup, that's awesome. But this face is a lot more round. So, you know, obviously adjustments must be made. That's why Doug Jones, if you guys are familiar with him, he's famously a monster suit actor. He's played lots of roles in like the Hellboy movies. I think a couple Star Trek shows, bunch of movies. If you look up Doug Jones, his features are like perfect monster suit, perfect makeup application features. You can add a lot to it without losing the sense of realism. Yeah, exactly. If you can get them cheekbones, like if the face is really sunken in, you know, And they're very expressive too. Some people don't really emote very much, but if you can get someone who's really expressive, that really uses their brows, you know, to give the angry face or the sad face or you know, something like that. The more expressive they are, the better too, because that will help show through the makeup. Makeup can be really daunting for actors and models who aren't that expressive, because their mild expressions automatically just get lost in the makeup. If you know what you're looking for, this is actually really easy to see in a ton of different movies where you can tell the actor was picked for other reasons than their ability to act inside makeup. Some people can really pull it off. Some people can't. The rubber face, yeah, exactly. Yeah, a certain amount of rubber face, and just the strength of being able to realize that you're going to lose, you know, you're going to lose some of your expression. So you almost have to like over express. A great example of this is, you know, frankly, it might be cliche, but Jim Carrey in The Mask, you know, like, dude is already super expressive. So when the appliance is put on, Jim Carrey can really pull off some really amazing expressions, because if properly done, the appliance will accentuate the features that are there. And let's be real, I mean, love him or hate him, Jim Carrey has got a lot of emotion and 8 billion different types of faces he can just do, right? You know? Yeah, and there's probably Robin Williams would have probably been another one. Although I'm trying to think if I know of any like Robin Williams movies where he wore appliances. There's got to be. He has to have been in some movie where he wore a bunch of appliances. But see, he doesn't have the thin face as much. He's got more of the square, or even, you know, rounder face. Yeah, Miss Doubtfire. Dude, why didn't I think of that? Now I'm embarrassed. Yeah, good point. Yeah, Miss Doubtfire. Yeah, exactly. Another one too. Don't know if they ever wore any appliances, but like, you know, like George Carlin would be another one. Yeah, with the makeup looks, that's true. Yeah, I just forget about that movie. I know there was a lot of people's like childhood favorite type of movie. I've seen it, but it was not like a staple, you know? It was an intro to Hollywood makeup. Oh, okay, yeah. I can see that. God, who's that actor? The one who plays his makeup artist. That mother, that dude. Who's like in Independence Day and shit. Funny mofo. Hmm. this other side. There we go. I'm feeling it. Feeling it. Hmm. There's so many pictures that make me question. Hmm. Bow, bow. Thanks for sharing the live. That always helps. Damn it. back in my larger account. Yeah, for sure. Thanks for doing this the live sharing. I appreciate it. This is my old main. Gotcha. Word. Yeah, I should probably set up another account. I haven't yet. I hear that's a good idea. I pray tell that's a good idea. Yo. Thanks. Using it's called Sculptex. What's up, Cheech? How's it going? Oh, damn. Yeah, easy to do, from my understanding. Yeah, I'm a big fan of using, as I was saying earlier, like Chavant clay, but originally the plan was to have the sculpture go quickly, so I wanted to use Sculptex. Don't know that I would suggest it generally. Oh, thank you for the follow. My mic is super quiet. Oh my god, it did the thing, dude. It did the thing. Thank you. I really appreciate it. That's awesome. Yeah, my mic's been, it's either the mic or the mixer has been messing up on me lately. I really appreciate the heads up. Don't worry, in a second it's going to jump up to be super loud. Mankey, what's going on? Thank you for the raid. Sounds good on this stream. Yeah, I'm all over the place. Got multiple stuff going on. Mankey, what you been up to? I don't know what weather's like there, but we're reaching like 115 degrees over here, okay? Crazy times. I should probably check my phone and make sure it's not about to die. Oh my god, I just realized something. That's so lame. Here, actually, hold on a second, TikTok. I forgot to do something. It's gonna be weird in a second here. 95 degrees, yeah. He's just continuing 3D learning. Nice! Hey, prepare those TikTokers. Just a heads up, prepare yourself for a second. I meant to do this at the beginning of stream, so hold on. There we go. You guys were supposed to have tunes this whole time, and I totally messed up. Just continuing 3D learning. Are you doing the ZBrush thing? And welcome in, Raiders. It's all good. Shit, it's got to be late as hell for you. In a perfect world, I would prefer clay that matched the color of whatever I was sculpting on, but I've gotten so used to working on different types of clay. I think my favorite clay still to date would be like Chavant, the terracotta color clay, for sure. It's probably my fave. I don't even know what you call it. This would probably be considered like a gray clay, even though it's got this weird like skin tone beigey kind of thing going on. Yeah, usually darker clay for sure, given the option. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, the color of the clay, though, actually, I'm not gonna lie, color of the clay is like the least important thing to me. For me, it's I know a lot of people are picky about the color of the clay, but for me, it's when it's at its like neutral temperature, whatever that is how well it holds together with like chemical additives. That's why I'm not the biggest fan of monster clay. I feel like when you're using monster clay, if you start using different solvents on it, you like expose this filler, and I am not a fan of the filler, but I know a lot of people love monster clay, so it's definitely you know, to each their own kind of scenario. Yeah, Chavant usually is my go-to for sure. Even though they're technically now, they got bought out by Smooth On, the same guys that make the clay I'm using, but they've been around for, honestly, it's been a long time since I've been to their original site. I wouldn't be surprised if they've literally been around for over 100 years. They still sculpt, I believe, Porsches are sculpted out of Chavant clay. The like body parts. I'm sure some 3D part is still there, but I literally saw a video like last year of them sculpting like the hoods and dashes and fenders and stuff like that out of Chavant clay. So I think there's still quite a bit of like a hands-on aspect. What's different? Me? It depends on what I'm sculpting. Something like this, you could probably just get away with like the medium firm, right? For my like more detailed any type of modeling I do, I almost always use the firmest type of clay you can get. Yeah, it just depends on what level of detail you're trying to achieve. If you don't need something with high detail where you're like, you know, trying to sculpt a tiny little, you know, Warhammer figurine or something like that, you can probably get away with like medium. Hello. What's going on? Yeah, if anyone wants to catch any of my like older streams or like how we got here, check out the YouTube channel. We're still trying, dude. The eternal goal right now to make it to 1,000 followers over on YouTube. Okay, that's what I want to get to. Dad, great work. It looks awesome. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Haven't seen this in a while. I thought I was on YouTube. Repeat. Yeah, I'm trying to get to like 1,000 followers on YouTube. I was just saying, if you guys want to catch up on any of the past streams, I have them over all on YouTube. And so I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers over there. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. That should work. I don't know if it's going to work over there on the Kick. So just a heads up. It should just be creatively cursed. If you go to like any of my pages, I should have my link tree posted. Bam. There you go. We good. Thank you. Yeah, one of these days I'm going to have to bite the bullet, get an editor to just edit through, because when I'm editing stuff, it takes for frickin' ever. I've been editing all the Krampus footage for the Krampus sculpt lately. I had to go through... That would be like, let's assume it was like 10 streams, maybe more than that. No, it's probably more than that. So like probably close to like 25 hours of footage to put together like little clips and shit like that. Because the Krampus sculpt was done almost exclusively all on stream. Where like the chest burster and other projects, only parts of them were done on stream, right? Freaking out over like a 3-hour clip. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, mine are, yeah, a 3-hour clip might be longer or more tedious depending on like what you're doing, right? So for me, I'm always just like cutting out this part, like when I'm talking or when like I put a sculpting tool down, because I like doing time-lapse videos and stuff. So that just, that's the tedious part. Well, the lips are real. Technically, this is a life cast, right? So technically speaking, the lips are very, very real. That's actual plaster version of someone's lips. So this all merges up to that. So they for all practical purposes, are real. Yeah, it's a clay life cast. So It's pretty extensive, all over the place, literally, all over the place. TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, Facebook, probably. Not Twitter, though. I was doing Twitter for a while, but it turned out to be literally pointless, so I stopped. Still creepy in a good way. Win. I'm going for creepy, so that's good. Yeah, I was trying TikTok Studio, but like I was saying, they don't have a damn art section to stream in. They do when you use your phone, but if you try and use TikTok Studio, which is like the app for your computer, they don't have an art area, which is just a bunch of bullshit. So you were going. Yeah, honestly, yeah, you got me. You caught me. It was unicorn for sure. Yeah, you just got to get there. That's why I was saying, like, get into the YouTube, get into like, over 1,000. Those are like YouTube's where it's at, because that's probably where it's, at least for my type of stuff, or maybe my personality or whatever, my schedule, whatever the case may be. It's probably the hardest place it is to get like fucking followers. And that's where I want to end up anyways, mainly doing most of the stuff, unless TikTok somehow miraculously fixes all their silliness. But I'm not super convinced. Yeah, no, I don't believe that's happening. All right, let's try one more thing here. Just push this back just a little bit. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. I've heard so many damn horror stories about that type of shit. No, I'm good. See, the good news is for me is that, unlike a lot of people who are like, I want to, would it be nice to make it like big on streaming? Sure. Not my goal though. I would be doing this stuff even if I wasn't streaming it. So it's more of just like a great opportunity for me to just kind of like document my shit and meet some cool people, To be honest, I'm not sure the art would be the way to go. If you wanted to become like a big streamer, I'm pretty sure the best way to do that is through probably almost any other topic of streaming than art. Artists love watching other artists. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure when it comes to streaming, like any of the real money is like, in the chatting, and, taking hard stances on, taking stupidly, excessively hard stances on stupidly excessive ideas and yelling and screaming about it seems to do well for most people. All working on their own medium. Yeah. There's some of that out there, but for now that I've been doing this, it doesn't seem like, artists are just kind of a weird group of people to begin with. They're both, in my experience, and this is not by any any measure a case with everyone, but it does seem that there's a significant amount of like, oh yeah, we totally support other artists, but then not really. Like when I first started streaming, uh, I would literally reach out to other artists and be like, hey, we should do like a co-stream or do this kind of thing or something, and like crickets. Now, admittedly, I had just started, but even now, you know, not doesn't really happen. I've tried to get people on to do interviews and talk about stuff. Like, it's like they're supportive right up into the fact that it's like, oh no, there's only such a select group of artists streaming, so like, sorry, homie, you just gotta, you know, try and fight for them yourselves. I was like, all right, whatever, you do you, homie. Very gatekeepy. But again, I think that's because when it comes to potential audiences for streaming art, there's not as much people there for that. So supply and demand. What happily interview? I appreciate it. Yeah, no, but like my thing was just trying to do like interviews of other people. I think one of the biggest problems when it comes to like the creative industry, the creative field, is again that kind of gatekeepiness, which isn't even only true in streaming. Artists generally are pretty gatekeepy. Again, I say generally. There's plenty of really amazing artists out there that aren't that way, but I don't know what made it that way, but painters, you know, like they're very secretive with their techniques and their styles and how they do shit, you know. Sculptors, special effects artists, there's a little bit of gatekeeping going on with almost every industry, some more than others when it comes to the creative fields. And there's also this like idea that you just have to like, I don't know. I feel like there's this idea that people never want to show their failures. They like a lot of artists only like to show their successes. Um, Even though it took, you know, however many dozens of failures to get to those successes, and they always play it off like that they've always been that good and they haven't shown their failures. I don't know. It's weird shit. I'm just rambling. Like my favorite question to ask people that are creators, and the few opportunities I've had to ask, you know, essentially strangers, you know, a set of questions. One of my favorite questions to ask is like, how do you know when a piece of art is done? Because anyone who's ever messed around, whether it's an illustration, a painting, a drawing, hell, probably a recipe if you're a culinary artist, right? Like you can keep tweaking out and tweaking out and tweaking out. And I feel like every artist kind of has their own definition of when something is done. Of course, you know, for people that are getting paid for a specific project, you know, the piece is done when the person who's paying you wants it. But when you're working on your own shit, you know, when is it done? When do you give up? When do you say it's not good enough? What are some factors that you look for in that? I think that is something that if a lot of, say, like really big name artists talked about that, I think it'd be really fascinating to hear what they say. Yo, funny guy, what's going on? When it's sold, yeah, that's one way to look at it for sure. Yeah, because you know, creative people as a whole are cantankerous to say the least, right? Especially about their own work. And I mean, artists I've looked up to, some of which, you know, frankly, aren't even alive anymore. So even if I, you know, would otherwise have gotten a chance to meet them and ask them that question, I'll never have that opportunity. Um, But it seems to me that all the hardcore artists I know, they look back at their work and they always look at it as they always see every issue with it, even though no one else will ever see those issues. They see it, you know. Or it's so detailed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm doing good. You know, it's chill. It's the weekend. I am doing well. Thanks for asking. Like, even if you're working on something that has a pretty clear, defined ending, um, Federation Virus. Thank you for the follow. Hope your Friday is going swell. Is like, even if there's something that has like a, I remember hearing some stories about people that did a lot of recreation work, like sculpting models of predetermined like video game characters or movie characters, and in a way, there's kind of a defined ending. It's like when it looks the most like something. But when you're down to literally moving around tiny chunks of clay to just slightly modify this or that, even though to most people it already looks like said person, character, or creature or whatever, it's like there's almost a level of, can I make it look more like this thing, or have I officially accomplished the goal? You know, Art the Clown looks awesome. He is looking awesome. I'm super excited. I should have stopped there. Oh yeah, the whole I've messed with it too much thing, dude. Yeah, that's a yeah, yes, I know that feeling. Super easy to do, honestly, dude. 7.4 thousand likes, guys. You guys have been working them thumbs off. Thank you. Yeah, the undo button is pretty powerful. Yeah, like different mediums, you mean? Or like just different projects altogether? 27 state. Yeah, that's pretty, yeah, that's pretty freaking extensive, yeah. That's how I am with video editing. Something that can take like 15 seconds, you know, that's a final product, say for like a short or TikTok or, you know, something for YouTube or something. I will spend so much time on something like that. Almost done. Yeah, well, we were done, and then I found like a picture from the literal dude who sculpted it. Then I realized, I was like, oh no, oh no, I'm so off. That's not what it's supposed to look like. I was close. I shouldn't say I'm so off. I was actually pretty close there, but there were certain things like how exaggerated these areas are. That definitely, you know, I definitely didn't realize that. Bow, bow. I still might take those down a little bit. They're a little puffy if you do, you know. Down the, yeah, exactly. Well, I found good reference. That's really what it, you know, that's really what it is. Um, And yeah, so yeah, we decided to go back to it. I would have felt so crappy too if I had molded it and we'd done the makeup and everything, and then I had found those reference pictures afterwards. I would have been kicking myself the whole time. I just want to try, you know. I think one of the coolest things is trying to like recreate stuff, and like I've brought this up before on stream. It's not until you're starting to like try to recreate someone else's like original concept, and you know, there's I guess bad things about doing it for sure. Like if you're trying to rip someone off for sure, and you don't give credit where credit's due. But aside from that, one of the best things is that you get to sit there and you'd be like, oh, it's interesting. Why did they make this choice? Why did they make that choice? Why? And like with this one, I definitely feel it. I feel that very strongly. Like, why did we make these jawbones and nose so fucking pointy? It's like uncannily pointy. People give characters big pointy noses and chins all the time, but they're still within the realm of general anatomical concepts. But like the Terrifier, no way. No one's chin bones are this thin. You know, like there's just certain aspects that are very unreal, but play okay. You know, they play well. It's always difficult to feel like you're copying, but I tried to do it my own way. Yeah, that's very true. Build a modifier, I had to build a mod. Okay. Have you done any recreations of classic monsters like Frankenstein? Oh, way back in the day. Yeah. That kind of stuff, yes. But this is my first time actually trying to do something on like as far as like a makeup. Well, that's not true. If you go back on my TikTok, you'll see my fuck. I don't know. That's still kind of original. It's not. Here's the thing. Special effects, kind of in concept, isn't original. You're always trying to recreate something. Like I looked to my makeup that I did that was the makeup look was inspired by Frank from Hellraiser, right? But technically Frank never looked like that, right? But beyond that, most of the makeup was learning like how the facial muscles laid on top of each other and things like that. So when you're doing stuff, you know, even if someone comes to you and says, hey, like for example, you brought it up, it's like, hey, I want a dragon mask. Like you're going to pull from so much reference. You're going to be looking at, well, how do scales lay on top of each other in nature? Like what, like how, like learning what to look for is almost just as important as the skill to execute the idea, right? Oh yeah, once we get this on a face, you put a bunch of makeup on it, it's going to be a giveaway. You know, it's going to be obviously Art the Clown. Hell, I got that far before I saw the reference pictures. But I don't know. I'm one of those people that thinks that, you know, if you have the opportunity, obviously if you're on a deadline, it's a different story. But if you have the opportunity to really challenge yourself, you should. You should challenge yourself, you know. And that's the conclusion of my TED Talk. Is reminiscent of the 80s many different influence. Yeah, exactly. More going with cheekbones. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, you talk about influences and stuff. Then you're going down this like rabbit hole that I love to go down in thought, like in almost like a meditative way. Not an actual meditative way, but it's like, is there even such a thing as an original idea? You know, which of course. Well, maybe not of course, but I don't think so. I think everything is likely just a derivative of something else, you know, whether it's another artist style or whatever the case may be. But I'm also a cynical son of a bitch, so, you know, to each their own. What's interesting about Art the Clown here is even the movies are heavily supposed to be kind of homages to 80s, 80s slasher flicks. Homage, I don't know, whatever one would say. Provided everything works out, this next year is going to be fucking chock full of really cool projects, most of which have already been seen on stream in their beginning phases. But I'm very excited either way. We got that arm project. We have the severed hand little collectible project. We have the Armsy diorama. We have the tattoo tester pad, which I don't know how much of that'll be on stream, but. And I have another project that I'm starting after the success of the Chestburster videos and the sales on my Etsy page for sure. There'll be another project I'm starting as well. Chock full of new shit.
We're on express elevator to hell, going down.
Yo, Beheader, what's up? What's going on? Hope life is popping for you. Busy man? Hell yeah, I'm a busy man. That doesn't even include what I'm doing on the day-to-day, yo. I got probably, I don't even know, at least tentatively like 4 or 5 projects that are being moved forward at the studio, so. Can't be Bill. Oh my god, I love fucking Bill Paxton. R.I.P. yo, R.I.P. Dude, I haven't watched Near Dark in so freaking long. I need to rewatch that flick for sure. I'm not gonna lie. Bill Paxton to me was it's gonna sound, well, a giveaway is obviously Aliens, right? But I also really liked, I don't know if you guys have seen it, a movie called Frailty. It was like a horror drama suspense-esque kind of movie. I really like that flick. And then Twister, those like my first, like, someone says Bill Paxton, this is what I think of. But Near Dark is a fucking amazing movie. It's crazy as I feel like I would have watched that if I had seen it on streaming. I wonder if it is available to stream anywhere, or if it's one of those movies that somehow is like in stream limbo because of someone who owns the rights to it, yada yada yada. But you give me Bill Paxton and you give me Lance Henriksen and we're in for a win, What's new? Just chilling. What about you? What's new? What's going on with you? How to Ride Horses in the 70s. Dude, that's freaking dope. Actually, one of my most prized possessions. So, like, one of the very first chest bursters I ever made, a buddy of mine, I showed them a video of it, and they're like, oh my God, I know someone who's like the biggest Alien fan. Can you please make me one to send them? And I'm all about sending people that are super passionate about things. And I was like, yeah, sure, buddy. And I made one, and I sent it to him, and he gave it to his buddy. And then like a month later, I got a text, and it said, hey, the guy that I gave that chest burster to, he wants your phone number. And can I give it to him? I was like, yeah, go ahead. And then he sent me a picture from a Comic-Con, or not a Comic-Con, but like some kind of aliens themed convention, with Lance Henriksen holding the chest burster I'd made in this like coolest pose. And I like nearly shat myself. And then I was talking to the guy, and he sent me a signed image from Aliens from Lance Henriksen saying, like, I think it says like, to Mike, this brings me back, thanks. And I was like, dude, hit me right in my feelies. It hit me right in my feelies. I have that shit framed and everything. Oh, really? Nice. Yeah. All fine here. Have you started your projects, Milo? Have you started your next sculpture projects, or no? Yeah, I mean, I've never met, I've never met Mr. Hendrickson, but I would imagine, I feel like he's probably, the fact that he still shows up to like a lot of those cons, like fandom based things, I feel like he's probably a pretty cool dude. But that's also why I'm always super timid to meet like actors or people like that. It's just like, I've met so many famous people over the years, and just, you know, related to the day-to-day job. But and when you have to work with them, it's a whole different thing. You don't have that like fun opportunity to meet them as like even as a fan, because at that point they kind of like, generally speaking, there's like an understanding that they'll be kind of nice, you know. I don't want to meet Lance Henriksen and, you know, think that he's a total douchebag. I don't know that's the case, but it could be. All our heroes are old now, dude. So true. So true. He makes clay bowls, really? No shit. I didn't know that. Yeah, that's a good point. No, I still want to finish the hyper realistic one. Oh, okay. Now, oh shit, Milo, I'm sorry to hear that you're that you're under the weather. Hopefully, it is over with swiftly. I think another one would be meeting like Peter Weller. I think meeting Peter Weller would be pretty fucking cool. And honestly, I'm super happy he's kind of had like a little bit of a renaissance in film. But again, old. Yeah, old for sure. You got a wait. You got a chicken? A chicken? What does that mean? Does it just mean a weak stomach? Oh, fragile gut. Yeah. I don't think I've ever heard that. I have a chicken gut. Do chickens have particularly weak stomachs? Yeah. It was very sweet. Nicest dude that I had met through. Oh, you wait. And I met through Greg Nicotero. You met him through Greg? I hate to say this. I had mixed emotions when I met Greg. It was under a really weird circumstance that I met Greg Nicotero. Like, I'm sure the dude is really cool. And so I'm going to say this with the nicest things in mind. But, like, so Greg Nicotero did my portfolio review at college. And what's interesting is they didn't keep any of the portfolio reviews, like, private. Like, so like you sat there as he would go through like other people's portfolios, and so like people would watch as they went through mine, and as I would watch as they went through other people's. And I had I don't know, like it was really a weird vibe. Like I was sitting there watching Nicotero go through like all these people's reviews, people that, oh man, this sounds like such a cocky thing to say, but I'm just going to say it. When you're like in an FX school, there are a handful of people that are there just for fun. And even they know they're there just for fun, right? And Nicotero goes through their portfolio and has nothing but like super kind things to say, and like is really like inspiring, like, oh, I can really see what you're trying to do here and you're trying to do there. But I wasn't there for fun. This was like a quote unquote like career for me, right? Gets to my portfolio, which they were going by like alphabetical last name, and needless to say, my shit is at the end of the alphabet. So I watched as he went through like friends and shit like that, their portfolios. Gets to my fucking portfolio, which I'm not even saying I was the best in the class at the time, but I was certainly better than a lot of the fucking people that he was reviewing their portfolios. And gets to mine, and he just fucking rips that shit to shreds. And just like giving me fucking attitude and kind of just being a fucking dick the whole time. And like, I'm sure the dude is nice, but I was like, what the fuck? Like, it literally blew my mind. It put me in a foul fucking mood the rest of the time. I don't know. I'm just bitching. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Maybe. I don't know. But still, I was like, dude, what, 20 years his junior? Like, there's no way. And I was like, this is the weirdest experience I've ever had in my life. And like, I want to like Nicotero. I really do. But god damn, that always just sat with me weird. It just sat with me weird, you know? There's no way, like, dude, and there's just no, like, potential competition, maybe, but, like, at the same time, like, I think I'm okay, but I'm not, like, I don't know if I'll ever get the chance just through practice and stuff to be, like, Greg Nicotero level, right? Like, he had nothing to worry about, but I feel like it was, like, just a really weird circumstance. And so ever since then, I've been, like, I still absolutely love the shit that Nicotero has done, you know, Walking Dead and shit like that, and KNBFX and stuff. But ever since then, I was like, dude, it just felt like the weirdest fucking circumstance. Don't meet people you care about. That's all I have to say. Am I selling this one? No, I am not. I am not selling this one. Jacob, thank you so much for the follow. I would love to know what the fuck happened that day. Like, maybe he was just tired of doing everyone's fucking portfolio reviews. I literally was the last one. But, okay, I was the last one out of, like, 30. And each one he maybe spent 10 minutes with or something. So, it's still, you know, it's still a long time. What, 30 minutes? Something like that? Or, I'm sorry, like 3 hours or some shit? Going through everyone's stuff, but, yeah. Dude, Savini, when he checked, so here's the thing, funny story. So a good friend of my family, and someone I knew growing up, served in Vietnam with Savini. So when I met Tom, he already knew who I was. like when I met him and I totally name dropped like a bitch. I was like, oh yeah, so and so, blah 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 blah. And so Tom always was really fucking nice to me, but yeah, I've heard horror stories about Tom, so I don't know. Brutally when I showed, dude. Did you? Maybe I'm trying to remember. Did you go to the Savini school, or have you just met Tom through? I forget. I have a shit for memory here. I feel like when he comes, he's there to make money. Oh, is that when you met? Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I didn't know. Actually, I'm not surprised. I don't know why I thought otherwise. I'm not surprised he does the cons. So funny story. We were told in school by some of our instructors to never let Tom touch your project. That he'd like randomly walk by, and that you were to make sure that if he offered to like help you with something, to never let him touch it, because he would just like fuck it up. I guess it doesn't surprise me, honestly. Yeah, my experience with Tom has been good, but I mean, so here's the thing about effects people. Like, to get good at effects, myself included here, you have to have spent a lot of time in your basement or in the attic or in your bedroom nerding out over monsters and nerd shit the whole time, and practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing until, you know, you just practice so much that you've finally gained some sort of skill. And so that by the time you're in power and you're an effects artist, you're like, oh, I'm only going to hire cute girls. Like Tom was that way. And like he would spend 5 seconds with the dudes, and then he would go and spend like 30 minutes talking to the quote unquote cute girls that were there and shit like that. It's cliche. It's cliche and unfortunate, but it makes sense because you were a nerd growing up and you had to do all this nerd shit, and now you're like this fucking cool ass artist and you're fucking taking advantage of it. I get it. I understand the concept. But at the same time, it's like, dude, so does everyone else. Everyone else sees that. Like, everyone gets it. I wish that wasn't the case, but it totally is. Ducky City, thank you for the follow. Didn't hurt my feeling. Oh yeah, no. If you go and have your portfolio review done by any type of industry professional, it's probably best to just assume they're going to hate your shit right off the bat, no matter who you are, no matter how good you are by any other like measurable standard. Because a lot of the what's it called? Old, there's a word for it, or like a phrase. The old guard still very much believes in like baptism by fire. You know, getting used to people telling you that your work is garbage and blah, 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 blah. This is not just a special effects industry. This is like this is a painting thing. This is an everything thing. They're just like us with really cool jobs. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. That's a good idea. Yeah. I don't anymore. Not after some experiences. Yeah, I don't do that anymore. I didn't. To be honest, even back then, I didn't think I was putting them on pedestals. But it is a whole other thing to have your shit torn apart by someone that you're even aware of. You know. And let's be real. Like years and years of doing this now, I've come to realize that I can tear apart anyone's work. It doesn't matter how good their work is. Like. It's if you know what to look for, you can find so much shit wrong with everything. I'm not saying you should. It's a very sad life to live when you see nothing but the errors. But having said that, you know, if they want to, you know, anyone can find shit to critique about someone else's work. It's probably a pretty important thing to learn how to take critique, even that negative critique, you know. Just pull a Eminem from 8 Mile and make sure that you're just tearing yourself down before they can. It'll be interesting to see what, like, the relationship between like masters and apprentices is like in say like 30 to I don't know, like maybe 50 years, something like that. Just with how very, 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 very sensitive a lot of people's dispositions have become, you know. There's not a ton of support anymore for the whole frankly, almost like, I don't want to say that, like maybe that's a bit too much, but like almost like this like master servant relationship that goes on, that traditionally went on with a lot of like skilled masters and apprentices. That I can't imagine that existing in a lot of today's culture, you know. Maybe it does, I don't know. I've had a more recent experience where it did seem to be that way, but it's kind of hard to imagine it continuing, but who knows? I feel like most people today wouldn't, you know, like wouldn't even be able to tolerate Yoda's attitude towards like Luke, you know? Like that shit wouldn't fly. They got YouTube. Yeah, right? YouTube University for the win. To read Fangoria. Dude, fucking Famous Monsters of Filmland. I had my pops collected that shit, and when I got old enough to like respect his shit, he handed me an entire two banker boxes full of Famous Monsters of Filmland. Got me Fangoria subscription. I definitely lost interest in Fangoria, as I think a lot of people started to do in like would have been like the mid 2000s. But even what was the other one that was like a really big effects, like more digital folks, Cinefex, I think it was called, or like Cinema Effects or something. You could only get that shit like Barnes and Nobles, or if you were spending a shit ton of money on a subscription. Those magazines were fucking awesome. They were more like horizontal. They weren't like a full, yeah. Yeah, it had a funky shape to it. It was like a rectangle. But god damn, were those fucking magazines. I don't even know if you can call them magazines. I feel like they were definitely periodicals, and I feel like they only came out 4 times a year or something like that. They were so fucking cool though. I remember, I might still even have it. I had one for Galaxy Quest when it came out. And I learned a shit ton about Galaxy Quest from that fucking magazine. But yeah, Fangoria. Are they officially? I don't know if anyone knows. Is Fangoria officially back to actually doing magazines, or are they still just doing the digital copy shit? I follow them on Twitter, but I feel like they're just doing like digital copies of their magazines, right? The photography alone. Oh yeah, the layout, the printing, everything was super high quality. Yeah. But they're lame. Yeah, I follow them on Twitter, but I didn't know if they actually brought back the physical copies, or they were just doing like the digital copies. But they don't do it every month. Wait, did Fangoria ever do it every month? I thought it was almost every month. Wasn't it it wasn't like 12 issues a year. I feel like it was, maybe I'm wrong. It's been a long time since obviously I had a subscription to it, but it feels like 10 a year maybe, or 9 a year or some shit. Not for nothing, old Fangoria. I'm not saying this is good or bad, but like old Fangoria, the type of shit they would put in their fucking magazines. I mean, they had naked ladies running around, and you know, like it was crazy. It shows some truly obscene ass shit. all my friends, you know, would have given anything for a subscription to Playboy, but, you know, not for nothing, Fangoria was any horror nerds Playboy for sure. Cool stories of the film. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I think for me, yeah, a lot of it was the pictures. Funnily enough, I still to this day much more enjoy the behind the scenes pictures than I do just like stills from the movie. And I feel like that's a lot of what you see nowadays. It's just people and articles would be clickbait articles on social media or whatever. And they always use just like stills from the film, and it's like, no man, I want to see the actors on set, you know, stuff like that. All right guys, I mean, we are very close to being done. There's some like generic texturing and stuff that has to be done to Mr. Art the Terrifier here, but ultimately it is very close to completion. So, having said that, I think I'm going to wrap up stream. Actually, it went longer than I was planning on to today, almost 3 hours, but we're going to be back tomorrow. So just a reminder, guys, we got, you know, the teeth done for the upper mouth. These are just wax, and we need to do the bottoms. So we're gonna probably tackle that. I have, like, you know, again, we basically are going to go from something like this, you know, the wax, to something like this. And I got a bunch of really great reference pictures now, so it should go much further. And I got my wax sculpting down with this project as well. So as far as one-offs go, it should go great. Looks great. It's really great. Around the eyes and cheekbones. That would have been hard. This has been tricky. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not the biggest fan. There's things I don't like about it, but you know what? We're pretty damn close. So thank you everyone for hanging out. I really appreciate it. I will catch up with y'all later. Have a wonderful evening, and I will be back tomorrow for sure, doing some teeth sculpting. So I hope to see you guys there. Have a great rest of your Friday night. Peace out.